Off the end of the low poly project, what you're going to do is make sure you pull out your layers panel, and inside your layers panel here you're going to see that you can take the original, make sure it's unlocked, take it, click it, drag it, and drop it to delete it. Once you've done that, you're going to go to the bottom here, click and create a brand new layer. Take that new layer, click, drag, and drop underneath, double click, call it BG for background, and then on that background what you're going to do is take the rectangle tool and you're going to click and drag to create a rectangle that's just a little bit bigger than the artboard, kind of like that. At this point you can click and fill that with any color that you'd like. Any solid color would be fine. But you'll also be able to, if you go over to your panels on the side over here, you can go over to Swatches, click on Swatches, pull it out, open it up, and go to this little corner button, click, and from this list you can choose Open Swatch Libraries, and then you may choose Gradients. From there, there's a whole list of gradients. I'm just going to choose color combinations just to show you how this works. And you're going to get a list of gradients. Here they are. Now, if I click one of these, you see it applies the gradient. I'm going to zoom out so you can see a little better. So you take the black arrow, you click on the box to select it. You see there's a gradient in there. There's also a panel, and sometimes when you have this closed, it looks like this. I'm just going to pull it in here so you can see it. It looks like this little box right here. You see it? Right there. Now, that box and this box over on this side, on your toolbar, it looks the same. So if I click this one, you see I get a line. If I go over to the line, you see it opens up, and I can individually move. I'm going to zoom in so you can see better. I can individually move the color stops. If I pull them down, they disappear. So I can get rid of a bunch of them just clicking and pulling. I can actually click and drag in any direction that I want. I can click on it and move it. I can click the edge of it on the bottom here. You'll see a little circle pops up, and I can rotate in any direction that I want it to be. When I go on the line, if I want to change the color stop, I double click on the color stop and I can change it to any other color that I'd like. And now I can change that color to something else, like yellow, for example. So that's one option. Another option is over on those tools on the side over here. If you click, you can choose the gradient window, and from here you can do the same thing, but you can also control different things like opacity and the type of it. So you can choose radial instead, and now I have this circular radial in the middle. I can actually click and pull to create that circle and pull it anywhere that I want. If I want it here, bigger, smaller, however you want to do it, you can throw it in there. So that shows up as the background. You can see the background layer here. So you can play with that, set it as you want. The last step for this project is I usually take the lines where you have all your colors and your black lines, click on it, drag it, drop it, copy it, so you have two of them. The middle one now, I'm going to double click and call Big Head. We are going to take this one. I'm going to lock the top one for a moment, but this one, I'm going to select a little circle next to it to grab it. It grabs everything, selects everything on that layer. Then I'm going to take my black arrow. I'm going to hold Shift and Option and make it larger. And where you place it is kind of up to you. It's going to be a reflection in the background. Right now, it's full color, but we're going to go up to the top, go to where it says opacity, click, change the blending mode to something else. Typically, overlay works nicely. And so when I click away, you can see from far away, here's what it looks like. It's kind of a faded one in the background. You can still click on it again and change the actual opacity number just so it's a little lighter in the background, and that works also. Alright, so once you are done with this project, this video is also going to show you how to export. So you go to File, Export, Export As. And then here at the bottom, you're going to click Use Artboard, and then you're going to change the format to JPEG. Once you've done that, you can save it right back to your same folder. Make sure your name is on it, and then hit Export. So I'm going to do it to the desktop just to show you. I'm going to hit Export, and this little window pops up with JPEG options. You're going to make sure it says, it can be CMYK or RGB, doesn't make a difference. Go all the way to 10 for the maximum quality, and make sure baseline standard and the resolution at 300, nothing lower than that. Hit OK. And then once it's done, you can close out. Make sure you save, of course. Okay, and then I'm just going to cancel that for a second, but you can see on my desktop now, here is the JPEG file right here. It looks exactly the same. It's a great quality, and this is the one you can print and upload to Google Classroom. This one gets uploaded to Project 7, Low Poly Art, Wedha Pop Art Project. Okay, that's where that one is going to go.